Welcome to LA2M. We're so happy that you're here today. My name is Jim Musial. I am Vice President of LA2M, and it's my pleasure to introduce the program and our speaker today. We've got a great crowd here, and obviously when we bring great speakers, we get a lot of people here, so we're happy you're here. Before we start, I'm just going to do a quick introduction of the program, how it runs for LA2M, and then I'll introduce our speaker. By a show of hands, do we have anybody here that's here for the first time today at LA2M? Great, well welcome, we're glad you're here. We hope that you'll share this, we hope you'll have a great time today. We know you'll get a lot of great information out of our speaker, and this is what we do each month. We bring in great speakers to share great marketing ideas that will help you in your business. So feel free to pass along our information. We are live streaming, so if you're ever not able to make it, you can go to our website, LA2M.org, and catch us live with a live feed, and we also archive each program. So if you hear something that Bob said today and you want to go back and catch it later in the week, next week, you can always watch the program again. LA2M is a nonprofit organization. We have volunteers here. Carter's here taking photographs. Roger and George are here videotaping and doing the live stream. We're very fortunate for that. We're also very fortunate that we have sponsors. LA2M wouldn't exist without the sponsorship. Right now we have an annual sponsorship with TaxCo Solutions. They are a tax, obviously, a company that helps you with your finances and tax purposes. Stephanie is here, she's in the back. She's got a sick kid, so she really didn't want to get up here. She's been kind of taking care of that sick kid, and you know how it is, you don't want to get up to speak when you're tired. But Stephanie's here, and she'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. You can see her in the back. If you have a small business and you need help with your tax and business solutions, they're a great company to talk to. They have a lot of great little resources that you may not be thinking about that would help you come tax time. Don't wait till April to find them. Find them now and then prepare yourself, your business for now, for next year. We are also looking for more sponsorship. So if you or your company would like to sponsor LA2M, we can do it by session, we can do it monthly, we can do it biannually or annually. I'd love to talk to you about that. If you'd like to be able to get up here and talk a little bit about your company and what you do, we'd love to talk to you about helping us in sponsorship. A little bit about the format. Bob is going to speak for about 30 minutes, and then we should have time for a little bit of Q&A. So if you have questions, hold them. If Bob's in the middle of speaking and something that's just really urgent, I'm sure he wouldn't mind you interrupting and you can ask a question, but we'll try to keep the questions towards the end. And then what we do at about 1:45, we pass the microphone, and everybody gets an opportunity to introduce themselves. So we just ask people to stand up, introduce themselves, what company they're with, and maybe if you have an ask or need. We just ask you to be brief, and we'll be able to get all the way around the room, and we'll get you out of here by 1 o'clock if you got to get back to the office. You can also stick around. It's a great network. You look around as people are introducing. There may be some companies and people you want to speak to. So stick around and network afterwards. That's one of the great things about LA2M. So enough about LA2M, more about why we're here, and that is to learn about marketing. We have a great speaker who's also a good friend of mine, Bob Chunn from ContentOro. Bob's got a great background, he's got a great history. Some of you may know Bob, and that's why you're here. But the last couple of months, if you've been here at our sessions, it's so funny that in all the talk, one of the most important things that they bring up is content. And if you've done a marketing piece, or you've done a website, or had to write an email or a blog, you know how important content is. And Bob's going to talk about that today and how you can be successful with content and how you can measure that success. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce, if you put your hands together, and welcome Bob Chunn from ContentOro.
So am I live, Jim? I'm usually loud enough to not need a microphone anyway. My name's Bob Chunn. I'm the founder and CEO of ContentOro, and I'm happy to be here today to talk to you all about something I'm very passionate about, which is content marketing. It's the fastest growing form of advertising that exists in the world today. And it's quickly taking the place of things like newspapers, magazine, radio advertising, television advertising, because it works. For businesses to help them attract customers. We're all marketers here, or we work for companies that market for other companies. We're all concerned with selling things to our customers, finding new customers. And content marketing is an incredibly efficient way to do that. Most people, when they think about content marketing, they think of it as something that started with the advent of the internet. But in fact, content marketing has been around for well over 100 years. And the most recognized origination of content marketing is with John Deere, who in 1895 launched a magazine called The Furrow. And they helped, that magazine helped farmers to have a more efficient process, to plant better, to get a greater yield from their products. And John Deere had the benefit of bringing in customers who were interested in their products. So it wasn't a direct selling situation where John Deere was advertising in a newspaper to a lot of people who weren't interested in farming. They're only talking to those people who are interested in their subject matter. But with the advent of the internet and the knowledge or the understanding that it's there to share information, businesses started moving towards a new form of content marketing, having information on their web pages in order to attract visitors. And along with that came a lot of bad content marketing. So how many of you have been on your Facebook feed and you're scrolling through your news feed and you see an article that says 5 ways to lose weight, 10 best vacation spots, 5 best places to go to learn to play piano? You never see that. Only people who were interested in piano might see that. But companies like BuzzFeed, and many of you may use them, but companies like BuzzFeed offer a service. They help businesses get traffic to their website, but the way that they do it is not the best, and I'm not an advocate for it. A lot of times when you're on their feed, you're looking at the 5 ways to lose weight. They show you one at a time, and then they trick you. You think you're clicking on the next button, but you're not. You're clicking on an advertisement. And that advertiser, that company who receives that traffic, paid for it, and they get no benefit from it. And there's a significantly better way to do content marketing than that. I want to talk to you today about something that I personally have a lot of experience with, and that's text. A lot of businesses use video, and a lot more are starting to use audio and podcasts as content marketing material, and those are great. I have nothing against them. It's just not my area of expertise. I know a lot about it, but probably not more than any of you. So I want to talk about Google and how it relates to content marketing. Google drives 64% by themselves of all website traffic across the world. So for every time somebody opens up a web browser, 64% of the time they're going to Google to ask a question. And Google has a very specific mission. So anybody hazard a guess what Google's mission is on the internet? I'll look at my team's all over here. They should know the answer to this. So I'll tell you, Google's mission on the internet is to provide the best possible answer to any question anyone could ask. It's not about selling advertising. That's what they do to monetize against their mission. But really what they're doing is spending billions of dollars indexing the internet to know who has what information, where it is, and to recognize authority. And here's something that most people don't know about Google. They employ people to evaluate websites, and they have a human rater handbook, which they give to these people, in which they teach them these 3 principles. Look for expertise, authority, and trust. So Google is evaluating your expertise, and they do that in a much better way today than they did a few years ago. So if you think about 10 years ago, if you were on a lawyer's website, you might see a list of keywords down the right-hand side that said motorcycle accident, car accident victim, medical malpractice, and that was enough. Google would see those keywords that were listed on the right-hand side of the web page, and then they would drive traffic there. But now there are millions of lawyers, thousands and thousands of law firms, all scrambling for that same traffic. And Google has learned that they have to do better. So this is their constant stream of changes to their algorithm that drives a lot of content marketers crazy. Google has learned to evaluate content, not just based on keywords, but to actually understand what's being written on a page. They use humans to look at things like video, to look at things like audio, and to look at the depth of the content and make sure that it actually means something for the websites that are in the top few positions in a Google search. But the important thing to know about the mission of Google and where they're heading and how it impacts you is that they haven't changed. Their mission has always been about providing the very best answer. And the way that they're going about that is by developing technology to read the content on the page, which puts a burden on content marketers to have more expertise than the next guy. They evaluate authority in much the same way, but add to it a linking structure. So when I started working online, you could go to India and hire a group of people to link to your website. And Google saw that as, wow, this website is very popular. They must really know what they're talking about, because all these people are coming in and linking to the information there. But Google learned that those were not accurate links, so now they follow them back. So now they follow them back to the originator, and they look at the content on their website. Is it the same? Are these people talking about the same type of topic as the website that we might recommend to our customers? That's what they're asking themselves. And if the answer is no, if it's from a link farm in India, then the site gets punished. They lose authority, and therefore they lose visitors. And trust. So trust is incredibly important online. And this speaks to the topic that I really wanted to talk to people about today, because I believe that content marketing is an exceptional way to attract your expert customers. So has anyone heard of the Pareto principle? So the Pareto principle is fairly simple. That 20% of your work produces 80% of your results. So when 20% of your customers give you 80% of your income, that applies in retail almost all the time. Other than at the company that I came from, I worked for Borders for a long time. We had a little bit of a different, it was a little different there. But generally speaking, 80% of your work, 20% of your work gives you 80% of your results. 20% of your customers give you 80% of your revenue. Google is evaluating you based on that principle. Does an expert customer, somebody who knows a lot about this subject, did they get their answer from your website? And so the advantage of content marketing done very well is to bring a group of highly qualified customers, prospects, to your website to buy your products. The type of people who are going to make up 80% of your income. That's really important. So Google, Yahoo, Bing, all search engines combined drive 75% of all website traffic. Like for our customer, Sur La Table. Sur La Table has a very specific problem. They're a great retailer. Does anybody shop in the Sur La Table and at the new mall here next to North Face? Love that store. My predecessor on Borders.com is the Senior VP of Digital at Sur La Table, now Kevin Hertel. Here's his problem. In his stores, he's got expert cooks, people who love cooking, people who know about all the gadgets, how they work. They can teach the customers about it. They even give lessons inside the store to teach people how to cook great meals. So inside a Sur La Table store, you're getting a great degree of expertise, and then they can sell you a $400 Le Creuset cast iron pot because they have that expertise in their store. Online, they're selling $400 cast iron pots without any authority, without the trust of customers who may come to them and not know them. that this is a place that can tell you about and sell you something that's very expensive and has a very specific purpose in your home. So Surlatov's problem is creating content, creating awareness of their expertise in an online environment. And a lot of companies have that same problem. Are there freelance writers in here? I know Barbara. Hi, Barbara. And I'll qualify this with a generalization. So two choices exist today to create content for your website. You can either hire a freelance writer or you can repurpose your marketing department. I'm sorry, the lights are bothering me here. Very, very bright and hot. So a marketing department is not made up of a group of people who are trained writers typically. They're people who were designed to attract customers and to execute marketing campaigns. And freelance writers are trained writers in a lot of cases, some cases anyway, but who don't have expertise or authority in every area that they serve. And so a brand is limited to creating content from scratch. And this is the very small pitch that I'll do for my business, which is ContentOro. And the way that we are specifically solving this problem, which applies to this topic, is we are working with the world's biggest and best book publishers. So Houghton Mifflin Harcourt, Macmillan, National Geographic. We work with these companies who give us the exclusive rights to use their content online and help us to create instant authority for our customers. We apply it to a very simple business model. And by the way, regardless of what Jim says, if you have questions during the presentation, I hope that you'll just speak up and ask, and I'm happy to answer them as we go along. And Jim will beat me up in the gym later. So our business model is to work with book publishers who give us the exclusive rights to use the contents of their books in an online environment. We've designed software to systematically extract the text, images, and tables of books. We load them in a relational database, and then we can reconstruct that content on a website instantly. We get revenue from our customers, and we share it back with publishers. This is a lot the same. Our business model is not very different than the Google Library project, which is conducted here at the University of Michigan. So if you've heard of the Google Library project, they've scanned 29 million books. Their intent was to have information for themselves to sell advertising against. We're doing the same thing. We just didn't steal the books from the publishers. And so for our customer, Pet Supplies Plus, we were able to load 700 pages of content. Now we're over 1,000 pages of information about pets, dog breeds, dog training, dog health tips, cats, and all of the same there. Hundreds of pages of information, thousands of images that we can load on their website overnight. So content marketing applies in far more areas than just having content on your website. An email that's sent to a customer that has authoritative information in it, that has links to articles, not just products, has a 4 times greater open rate than just an email with products. So it also helps to narrow your field of listeners. So a company like Pet Supplies Plus or Surlatov has hundreds of customer groups that they talk to at any one time. Each one has specific things that they're interested in. And they divide their email in that exact same way. So that a customer who's interested in cooking with cast iron is getting cast iron recipes, and a customer who's interested, who just bought an ice cream maker, has ice cream recipes, and a customer who is interested in the latest technology in knives is seeing Wusthof and those types of things. And how many social media people are here? Quite a few. So a company, I worked for Pet Supplies Plus. I also worked for Borders. for 12 years. I've seen a lot of content marketing. Mostly what I see in the retail sector is that brands are either selling their products through their Facebook page or really trying to. At Borders, we hired a company called Buddy Media to help us create a selling environment on our Facebook page where we were selling books, and we sold none because people just weren't interested in buying products while they're talking to their friends through Facebook. That's not what they're there for. They may be there to learn and to share experiences. And so sur la table sharing recipes on Facebook is an appropriate thing to do. But selling them a $400 cast iron pot just doesn't work. In my experience, when we would send out, when we would post a picture of a cute puppy at Pet Supplies Plus, we would get a couple hundred likes out of 100,000 fans. If we were to share an article about a hero pet that saved a family, we would get thousands of likes. People are interested in deeper content than just memes. And social media is designed for more than just selling your products. To engage with customers online, you need a massive amount of content so you can talk to each individual person individually.
One question, Bob.
Yeah.
You say you get thousands of likes.
Yes.
Thousands of likes translate into sales. Is there any way to say, well, we have this many likes, that will translate to X amount of dollar sales, or is there?
No. No. There's no, there is not by measuring likes, for sure. You know, if you're smart, when you're posting articles to Facebook that are linked to your website, you're getting traffic to your website, and there's an appropriate place to sell products, and that's your real measurement. But I guess I look at it as online marketing. It has a lot of measurements that are associated with it, and they all mean something independent of one another. But it's really the collective information which is very important. So I look at a combination of things if I'm looking at social media beyond just likes. I'm looking at how long they engage, how many clicks I got through to my website, and how many of those clicks resulted in a sale. And that's an appropriate question because we're talking a little bit about analytics here. The most important thing you can do with digital marketing of any kind is to understand what results you get. It's one of the benefits that you don't get from traditional marketing. So if you run a newspaper ad or a billboard, you're never going to know what results came from it. And sometimes that's fine if you're trying to put out a broad message and tell people that you exist. But in the online world, you do have the ability to see how many people liked the topic that you posted, which gives you an idea of the engagement with your brand. The more people that like it, the more Facebook will share it. So that's an advantage. So you want to keep track of those types of metrics. In the end, we're all looking at how many transactions did we get at the end of the day. And that answer is very complicated. I don't know if any of you have heard of this topic area, but it's called the last click. So I may be driving down the road and I see a billboard that says Sun and Ski Sports. It was another company that I work for in Houston. It says Sun and Ski Sports, and it says turn right here, and I drive past it because I'm on my way to work. But then later that night I hear an advertisement on the radio for Sun and Ski Sports, and again, there's no real action for me to take, but I heard the brand, and then I see an ad that comes up on my Facebook feed or an article from Sun and Ski Sports, and maybe I click on that, and I land on the site and I see a product that I'm interested in and I buy it. That's called the last click. I might make the mistake of saying that my Facebook page drove that transaction. But if I'm a smart marketer, I know that there were a combination of effects that happened which drove that behavior. And in content marketing, the most important thing to understand is that it's a part of your marketing puzzle. It's not the complete answer. But what it does very specifically with relation to bringing in those 20% of people who will provide 80% of your sales is that you have the opportunity to share expertise with those people and have a real conversation with them about something that they're passionate in. And that creates loyalty, and that's what solves problems like sur la table. And the analysis of that behavior is a complicated thing. We look at our website traffic, how many visitors came to our website, how long were they on any given page. That's what I look at for my customers as well. I want to know that people are spending time with the information that we're providing, and if they're not, then maybe it's not the right information or I'm not targeting the right customers. But being aware of those things is very important. Because content marketing is all about selling more stuff. That's our mission in life as marketers, is the connection of content and products. We're doing something that's very different in that way by linking products to the content that we provide. And because we're providing hundreds of pages of information, we're creating hundreds of unique selling situations for our customers who are retailers in a lot of cases to sell their products in context, the way that Google wants to see it. We are, by linking our products to the content, we're creating an internal linking structure, just like Google follows the links back to India to know that those companies that were linking to me were not authorities in my subject area. By linking my content to my product, I'm telling Google this product, let's take Ulta Beauty as an example. We're teaching their customers how to design a cat eye. I don't know a lot about this, right? I mean, some of you know a lot about this. I know nothing.
Oh, what?
A cat eye. You're gonna. It's a makeup effect. That's the only thing I can tell you about it. So, I haven't tried it yet myself at all. Although I will do it when they bring me down to Chicago to talk to them. I'll do a cat eye. So if I can teach their customer how to draw a cat eye, there are several products that customer needs to buy in order to make the effect work. And so that's an opportunity for Ulta to sell their product by creating, by creating that link to the products. We're telling Google that product description supports the content, and the content supports the product description. And this tells Google that I'm even more of an authority on drawing cat eyes on my face. How about that? You had a question?
Would that include published papers that are related to your product, that talk about the product?
It's so one of the criteria that Google has, what they're looking for is original content. So a published paper that's yours alone means something very different than a published paper that everyone else has. Which is why I mentioned, in my business model, we ask our publishers for exclusivity so that we can pass that on to our customer, so that they are the only ones in the world with that content on their website. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. So I have links to published papers and OSHA.
Yes.
References.
That helps. It definitely helps. But it's not as good as having the information on your own website. So what you're doing is lending credibility to someone else's website. You're saying, these guys are the authority, that's why I'm linking over there. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not an authority, but you have to have original content on your website to get credit from Google and have them drive traffic to your page. Yes?
So both in food and in beauty, bloggers are key drivers. So how do you create, you're talking about trust and authority. I would
Yes.
think that connecting with key bloggers would be
Absolutely.
So I actually work for a beauty brand right now.
You
So
do.
if I could get a beauty blogger
Yeah.
to include a link to us, that would help increase the rise in
Yes.
in Google. Yeah.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
So
And how do you identify those, the right bloggers to be with?
So we call that influencer marketing, and that's something that we're employing for ourselves. And it's a very important tactic in content marketing. So whether they're a blogger or they're an author or they're somebody who's known for a very specific topic area, Google's algorithm includes a look at social media to know who is being followed and who's getting a lot of attention. If you combine those things, where you have an article that's exclusive to you on your website, written by somebody who's an authority in the area that you are talking about, you'll get extra credit. I don't know how else to describe it, but that's part of Google's algorithm. For sure, yeah. I've got just a couple more minutes, and one thing that is critical that I want to talk about that Candace Chapman is our Vice President of Marketing. She's sitting here reminding me I'm almost out of time. One thing that's very important with content marketing is having a plan. And this is where I see a lot of businesses fall down, is that they don't plan well, they don't think months in advance, in time to create the type of content that's going to really attract their customers, so they wind up with a calendar. If they have a calendar at all, they wind up with a calendar of a bunch of pictures of memes, cute puppies and kittens and babies, and articles about Donald Trump. And that's what they have. That's what they have as content, because they don't give themselves the time to create it. I'm trying to answer that problem by giving you easier access to authoritative content you can use right away. But if you're not using a service like mine and you're creating it yourself, I'd implore you to do something even as simple as to have an Excel spreadsheet where every day you're out 45 days at a minimum. You're thinking about, what am I going to say to my potential customers? And you're mapping it out, and you're creating a plan to generate that content. Whether it's video, it's a podcast, or it's text, or a combination of text and imagery and video, you have to be thinking out far enough that you can create that content in time to be part of a conversation. And part of that planning process is to look at what's happening in your industry. So if you're going into summer and you want to talk to customers about you're part of Ulta Beauty or Sephora or whatever company you might work for, and you want to talk to them about makeup that doesn't run when you're in the water or you're sweating like I do, then you need time to create that and to be part of the conversation, or you're just going to have pictures. So that's the end of my official presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have that aren't very personal.
All right, so contrary to what your marketing person says, you have another 10 minutes.
Oh, okay,
So,
all right.
We keep talking, so I encourage questions. Couple
Yeah.
things first. One, I've seen Bob at the gym, he's coming with a cat eye, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen him go in and wash it off before he works off.
Yes.
Couple things, I have a first question, if you don't mind, Bob, and then
Sure.
I'll pass the microphone around. If you have questions, raise your hand. How much of the content marketing is organic? So we put, as bloggers, as marketing people, we put content in regarding a product or service that we're helping promote or is our own marketing service. How much of that becomes organic as opposed to paid, or being very precise with trying to put a message out that we just get people because they're interested in it?
So everything I'm talking about in terms of Google getting traffic to your website has all been about organic search. It's I think of the two distinct buckets. You can pay Google to have, when somebody says, I want to know how to draw a cat eye, you can pay Google to show up in those top 3 positions at the top of the page. That's part of the 25% of traffic to websites, and you're paying for every click. But if you know that millions of people are searching for how to draw a cat eye, having the best information on your website is a much cheaper way to get that traffic. That's organic search. Those results are below the ads. And those results, depending on what subject area you're talking about, are much cheaper than paying for every time somebody clicks. I'll give you a great example. Has anybody heard of mesothelioma? Asbestos poisoning. Attorneys, law firms, and medical practices pay as much as $170 per click every time somebody wants information about mesothelioma, because they know that search term could result in a lawsuit that generates hundreds of thousands of dollars for their firm or their medical practice. So having the best information on your website about mesothelioma, if you're a lawyer, could save you millions of dollars if you're a large law firm.
Do we have any questions for Rob? Right up here. I'm going to hand the microphone so everybody can hear the question.
So you talked in the beginning about, somewhere along, about translating content marketing into sales and the analytics behind that. Can you go a little deeper on that? Because I think it still is, while there are clicks and maybe time, you know, it's been pointed out that maybe one of the reasons people spend 5 minutes on your website is because they can't find what they're looking for.
Oh, for sure.
So it's a negative as opposed to a positive, so it's not an absolute. So how do you dig through that to make sure that you're truly translating to sales?
So I mean, that's a big topic, because you're talking about the organization of a website, which can be really complicated. I'm trying to think of a good example to give everyone. No, probably not. But so if you have a website which is unorganized and your product is hard to find and your content isn't easily navigable and maybe you don't have a very good search bar, you're going to have a high bounce rate. There are tools out there like you can get a free service to show a heat map for. And here's an example I'll give you. When I was in Houston, I was at Sun and Ski Sports. We were the second largest ski seller in the U.S., based in the hottest city in the world. We would get customers that would come to our website. They would go to the clearance section looking for. You'd see them clicking. They'd click on a black North Face jacket, and then they'd open the size bar, and they maybe didn't find the size that they wanted, and so they'd leave. They'd go back out and they'd look at a different jacket, and they're looking for their size, and you'd see that they didn't buy. So we ended up putting a filter on all of our products so that people could say, I want a black North Face jacket in a size large for women, and they would see everything that we had available in the clearance section. So a heat map can kind of help you understand where your customers are clicking and where they're leaving. And those tools are available for free through Google Analytics and then any number of other companies.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Here we go.
Does changing the name of the website change the traffic? Like, I've had this website for 10 years, and I feel like I'm right up there in the top 10.
Yes.
If I change the name, am I going to lose that?
You can tell Google that you're changing the name of that you're changing your URL to something else to help them understand that this is the same information, the same place as this other one. But I've also seen where it hasn't worked for people. So I think it's something to be really cautious about. Not to mention the fact that your customers may be used to, part of your traffic to your website is direct. People are typing a URL into your bar and finding you that way. And you'll lose some by doing that. So it's just something to consider.
Got a couple more questions.
Hi, I have a blog and I occasionally get emails from people asking if I'd be willing to post a blog post of theirs on my blog.
Yes.
And I usually find myself thinking, what's in it for me here? And usually not writing back. And what you were saying is just making me, I'm just wondering if you have an opinion on, would that benefit me to have outside content on my blog? And also, is there something I should ask in return, or what would be the
Yeah.
relationship so both of us are benefiting from?
I think it's a normal practice in content marketing. You're trying to get a lot of sharing to happen through the internet. So you want your information, and in this case, the other blogger wants their information to be dispersed as widely as possible. They probably identify you as a like company or a like business. You have content like theirs on your website, so they know that if Google looks at you and they look at this content that you're getting from somewhere else that's linked to you, that helps that company be more of an authority. So the way I would look at it is, if the information is very relevant to your website and you like the article, you think that it helps your brand, then I think it's worthwhile doing. And I would ask them back to share an article that you created. And that's a normal practice in blogging.
All right, I'm going to end the last question here, but I'm sure Bob will be sticking around after, so if you have another question and you didn't want to raise your hand, I'm sure you can go up and talk to him right after the presentation.
You've talked a lot about organic search, and depending on the list we look at, the top 5 drivers include things that you talked about, links in, have quality links in, and content certainly on your websites and your quality score, etc. So if you had a client with a very limited, organic search budget, and you're getting them just started, where would you spend your first marketing dollar in natural search? Would you focus on links and links out, links in, or would you focus on content? If you focus on links, what would be some good strategies? You've already talked about a couple, but I'm really curious about that area.
So first,
So answer all 4 of those questions.
I would, I'm going to answer the one that's most related to what I know best, which is about having authoritative content on your website. And I think that is the most important thing that you can do to help yourself sell things to your customers. And the rest of it are games that you play to try and tell Google that you're an authority to get traffic to your website that doesn't benefit your customers. So I'm a 28-year retail guy. I understand providing customer benefit and getting something in return for that benefit. If I had a small budget, I would look for keywords that I could invest in, which had the lowest amount of competition, which means that I would have to create a smaller amount of content around them in order to win in natural search. That's how I would look at it. And I would set the link building strategy off to the side until I had accomplished that. But this is it's what we call a long tail business. You don't know what someone is going to type into that Google search bar. And many businesses have become very successful by winning on a keyword that only gets searched 5,000 or 6,000 times a year. It's not all about winning for the North Face. Sometimes it's about winning for natural cat food for cats that have digestive problems.
Cat eyes.
Yeah. So very long topics. So that's how I would address it.
All right, please join me in thanking Bob again for all the information he shared. As marketing people, obviously, content is king, so this is really spot-on information, and it was great information, so thank you so much for sharing with us, Bob. Right now, we've got about 15 minutes left. What we do is we pass the microphone around. So for the first timers, you'll see others going what they do, but please, we're going to get all the way around the room, less than 15 minutes. We'd like you to introduce yourself, tell us your company, and if you have a quick ask or need. Please keep your comments short so we get all the way around the room, and then we'll finish with a few announcements regarding next month's session as well. So we're going to start right up here with Candace.
Hi, I'm Candace Chapman, VP of Marketing for ContentOro, and I am meeting all my content needs.
Susan Harris, I'm a former freelance writer. This was just wonderful. It's one of the best talks I've ever heard here, by far.
Thank you.
That's why I come, to learn.
Thank you.
My name is George Pariseau. I'm a video producer. My studio's name is Brainstream Creative. To give you an idea of how interesting my days get, last month I spent one half of the day at the MIS garage filming NASCAR drivers, and the other half of the day was Botox procedure. I help marketers plan, create, and publish video content. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ann Hansen. I am a product development and marketing, my friends would say even beast. Last year I spoke on color, if any of you remember that. Currently, I'm working for a prestige salon brand in the beauty industry, specifically in hair. And what's my need? My need is for more product companies to be based in Michigan. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Adrian Knetz. I'm the head of sales for ContentOro. So if you guys need content, just come and talk to me. I'll hook you up.
I am Aaron Dewberry. I am an intern with ContentOro, and I am a web developer.
Hi, my name is Hemi. I'm an intern under the ContentOro.
Hi, my name is Eugene. I'm a web developer at ContentOro. I'm helping customers to design the content on their website and developing our APIs.
Bob, your presentation wasn't that good. Obviously. No, I'm Chris Kamansky. I'm a partner in a company called Design Hub in Saline. We're a 5-person operation, creative services and marketing. And we do some of this content marketing for our clients.
Hi, I'm Laura Crawford. I am a freelance writer. I have a background in journalism, brand journalism, content marketing, and marketing. And I specialize in topics related to health, higher education, and the environment.
Hi, I'm Amy Puffenberger. I'm a marketing and communications specialist at the University of Michigan, focusing on research and communications.
Hi, I'm Nicole Bonomini. I'm also a marketing and communications specialist at the University of Michigan. Full table professor.
Everyone except me. Hi, my name is Janelle Reitman, and I am a freelance web designer and developer and graphic designer.
Hi, I'm Kristen Ball. I'm also a marketing communications specialist at UofM.
I'm Morgan Hayward. I'm also a marketing communications specialist.
Hi, my name is Terry Ridenauer, and I'm with the University of Michigan Medical School, and I work with the Metabolomics Board, and my husband also owns Ridenauer Landscaping in Ann Arbor. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ann Curtis, and I'm the marketing director for the Medical School Office of Research.
Hi, Jeff Velas, founder and owner of HarborPines Marketing, helping small businesses, usually restaurants and bars, become more prominent in search results using integrated marketing as well as digital.
Hi, my name is Michael Baker. I'm here with my coworker Caroline Hall. We're from Create My Tea, an Ann Arbor-based custom apparel company that does creative services, screen printing, and embroidery for all types of events and businesses around the country.
Hi, I'm Stacy from Dollar Bell. Hi, Michael. How are you? Hi, Nicole. I'm going to give you a hug after. So I'm Stacy from Dollar Bell, your local digital print shop, you know, all postcards and business cards and all that. But I also have a new role at LA2M, planning the monthly meetings. So we're going to get the fall schedule all set. So I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email if you know the speaker that you've heard, seen, that you can recommend, because we always like to have people recommend them so we get really good speakers. As you can see, we get really good speakers because Jim knew Bob. So send me an email if you know, or come see me after of a speaker that you think would be a great topic for LA2M.
Hi, my name is Jordan, and I do the marketing promotions for Dexter Builders.
Hi, I'm Chris Palmer. I'm president of PPG Interactive. We're a content development company. We specialize in broadcast and in podcast. All original content. Most of our clients are international. We're working with mining corporations, aquaculture. We work with automotive. So I really enjoyed the talk today. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Linda Baker, and I work with a nonprofit called JBS. I help people find jobs. My ask today is I work with people with disabilities
And I'm looking for janitorial sites or possibly food packaging sites that would be open to teens and people with disabilities coming in and becoming part of a diverse workforce. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Taylor Hullick, and I head social at Regroup, an integrated marketing agency just around the corner. And I used to work with Bob, and I know a couple of people at ContentOro, and they are fantastic, wonderful people, very smart. So if you need content for your website, go to them. If you want ongoing social content, come see me.
Hello, my name is Stephanie, and I represent the sponsor Tax Co Solutions. We are a tax and bookkeeping firm, so if anybody needs any help with that, please let me know. And then in my free time, I like to do music business stuff, so I just started a booking agency, and we are looking always to plan and execute live events. So if you are interested in having a band play, let me know.
Good afternoon, I'm Dr. Thomas Blackwell with the Impel International. We help those individuals who are looking to generate some additional income on the side. We're international marketers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tim Bush. Kelly, who's sitting next to me, and I lead a company called Envision Health. So we're healthcare marketing, content, PR. And we work with hospitals, health systems, healthcare IT vendors, but we're exclusively focused on healthcare because content is so important and you need that deep domain expertise to actually get heard and listen to in the market.
I'm Kelly, I work with Tim. Envision Health, glad to be here.
Hi, I'm Amy Wiseman. I work for PWB Marketing Communications. We're a full-service marketing agency over here on State Street. I work as an account executive, but also as a copywriter, so I spend a lot of time trying to convince people that what they say is pretty important.
Hi, my name is Janine McNally, founder of Speak So They Listen. It's a corporate training company that focuses on soft skills so that you can build relationship capital in your one-on-one conversations, your meetings, and while giving presentations. And our company just partnered with the Chad Tough organization, and we're going to be doing 100 of these very powerful one-hour trainings and donating $10,000 or more to the Chad Tough organization. So we're looking for companies that would like to participate. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Janet Wilforth. I've worked at the University of Michigan for 20 years. Before that, I was a veterinary technician in small animal practice. Out of what I do, I've come up with a way that makes anesthetizing animals safer for people, and it also makes it less stressful for the animals. So I do have an ask that you go to the 5x5 pitch and look for my pitch to pitch for $5,000. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Trevor Moore. I work for Affordable Computers over on South Industrial, and we have the lowest prices on refurbished computers in the area. But I'm just trying to learn a little bit more about content and social media stuff, so thank you.
I'm Jeff Reinfeldt. I'm with Renaissance Fund of Funds. We invest in venture capital funds, and my day is mostly having venture capitalists pitch to me, which is fun.
Hi, my name is David Coleman. I work for Brainstream. We help brands maintain pricing online and in retail at the same rate.
I'm Bud Gibson. I launched the Center for Digital Engagement at Eastern Michigan University. We're currently running our summer clinic, and I'm happy to have 4 of our alums working for ContentOro. Bob also is an alum. I have an ask. We're going to be putting on a series of digital workforce summits this fall. And if you're interested in hearing how we do this, please come talk to me, and I'd love to put you on the invite list. We'll also be running our digital marketing workshop on November 11th, and I'll have more to say about that as we get to fall.
Hi, I'm Amy Ma. I do a number of things. Currently, I guess one of the most engaging one is the development of comprehensive green, healthy buildings. And that includes many, many products and technology and integrating all of them. I also do children's books publishing in multiple languages. And that's one of the best medium for anybody to learn a foreign language. And we have special methods so that I guess everybody must have learned a second language, including myself. And but the result usually is that you learn it, but you really cannot perform when you need to. And we have a technology developed now so that you can really respond and act like a real native in a very, very short period of time. We're also connected to one of the largest incubators in Hong Kong, which is connected to a whole range of venture capitalism and so on, and universities as well. Okay.
Hello, I'm Jerry Markle, an educational psychologist. My company is Managing Your Mind, Coaching and Seminars. I specialize in working with entrepreneurs who may be flaky but not stupid. And so if you have a small business and want to be more productive and have less stress, give me a call.
I'm Barbara Goodman. I am a self-employed editor. I find there's tons of content out there, but so much of it is really, really poorly written that I don't believe it. So what I try to do in a very analog way is to make people's writing, make people's ideas read better.
I'm Chunn and I had the good fortune of having Bob come to me a couple of years ago and says, I've got an idea for a business. Would you give me some advice? And I am now chairman of the board of ContentOro.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherline from Print Studios. I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer, videographer, drone pilot as of lately. That's so I produce content, visual content, and anything from studio portraits to shooting events. If you're a runner, you've probably seen me because I'm Michigan Runner magazines. Senior photographer. If you're a golfer and going to pro tournaments, you've probably seen me there as well. Actually, I'll be at the Marathon Classic on Sunday.
I never see Carter at events, I only see his camera. So that's all I see right there. So I never see Carter. Again, thank Bob again for being here today. It is great speakers like that, and great content, and great questions that you guys ask, and the engagement that we have that makes LA2M so successful, and that's why we're here every month, and that's why we continue to do this. Spread the word about it. Visit our website. We send out emails to just over 2,200 qualified marketing people. So you should get that email. If you're not on our list, please go to the LA2M website and sign up. You can catch this talk again next week online. We'll have that available, as well as all our archived talks before that. One last thing I want to mention, again, thanking Bob, but I also want to talk about next month's speaker. August 10th, we're going to be back here again, and we are going to, we have the privilege of having Janine McNally, who you just met a second ago, from Speak So They Listen. So obviously I don't speak so well, so I'm really looking forward to being at that presentation and learning how I can be successful in my business with what I say and who I'm saying it to. So thank you everyone for being here again. We hope you come back.